Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 207. Can you believe it? We've been doing it for 207 weeks. It's crazy. Listen, if you haven't done it already, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button because 60% of you watching aren't subscribed.
What are we doing?
So, not quite sure why you haven't done that. And when you're done hitting both of those buttons, if you're watching on the YouTube app via your iPhone or Android device, if you are on your mobile phone app watching this on YouTube, you should be able to swipe left on the comment section and you should see a button that says hype. Hype this video.
What are we doing?
It's a new feature that YouTube has released now to help boost small creators. This is only available for smaller channels, so you can do this once or twice a day for a couple of different videos if you want, and then the next day, guess what? You can come back and do it again. So editor Jeff and I were busy all weekend testing this. He's hyping from his end. I'm hyping on my devices every day. And guess what? It sent the numbers of last week's episode through the roof.
What are we doing?
So if you could please, let's go to the YouTube app, open this episode, swipe left. I know it's a lot. Stick with me and hit the hype button. If you don't see it, you have to swipe left. On the comments section, there should be 3 little dots. I'll put a screenshot on the screen for you so you have a visual reference. And hit the hype button to boost this episode within the algorithm. Hitting the like button, hitting the hype button. Not only do you like it, you want to hype it.
What are we doing?
It's YouTube's new feature, so if you haven't done so, go to your favorite small creator on YouTube, go to their most recent video, swipe left, hit hype, and get their numbers boosted. You know what I mean? So it's their new feature on YouTube. And man, listen, I was ready. I was ready this week. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't feel like cooking. We had groceries in the fridge. Like I had everything I needed to make a dinner, but I was like, I just don't feel like cooking. And I was 1000% in the mood for no less than 6 chili cheese dogs from my local Sheetz. Now, there are no arguments. There's no arguments. There's no debates to be had. If you can tell me a better place to get a chili cheese dog in the fast food, gas station food category than Sheetz, there is no argument. Because guess what? It's not Rutter's. It's not Wawa. 7-Eleven doesn't have them, and Turkey Hill just kind of puts them on the roller and forgets about them. And don't even get me started on Sonic, dude. It's Sheetz or no one else for the chili cheese dog.
What are we doing?
Now, if you're going to a cart like the Home Dog, shout out to Connor, you know what I mean? That's a little bit different. That's a different class of hot dog. But if we're talking fast food gas station, Sheetz is the only way to go. Now, the issue was for me this past evening is that when I loaded up my Sheetz app, because let's face it, I'm not leaving the house to go get the chili cheese dogs. They are 100% being delivered to the house. I understand. I'm part of the problem. But at the end of the day, if I don't have the energy to make dinner in the house, there's no way I have the energy to step outside of the house.
What are we doing?
And so I get on the Sheetz app and I'm scrolling and I'm looking. I find my nacho cheese, boop, hit it. Regular bun, boop, hit it. Number of dogs, 9, boop, hit it. And then, but I can't find the chili option. I refresh it, I close the app, I start the order over, I go back in, maybe I got to pick the late night special, like I can't find the chili. After 5 times refreshing the Sheetz app, I finally pick up the phone and I call the local Sheetz and I say, hey, I don't see chili anywhere. are you guys out of chili for my chili cheese dog? And the voice of the distraught manager on the opposite end of the line, because they've never gotten a phone call at their job in their life, said, yes, that is correct. And so I said, bitch, how can you be out of chili? And so I have to now go find a new place to get a chili cheese dog to satisfy my cravings. Now it's late at night. I don't have a plan B, because why would Sheets be out of chili? And so I call every place on the planet, and the next best place I can find is Rutter's. And I order these hot dogs from Rutter's. And when I tell you, these hot dogs were the most disgusting thing I have ever had on this planet, I am telling you, they are 3 times too thick. The chili was tasteless. The cheese was disgusting. The other time, I got a few other different types of dogs just to give them a chance. Gross. It was not a great experience. 1 out of 10 on the Dave Portnoy scale of hot dogs. It wasn't a good time. I'm pissed Sheets didn't have my dogs, because you know what I mean? If there's one relation that we can all bring it back to, and that's my boy Josh. I want to get Josh on the podcast so bad. I want to get Josh on this podcast so bad. He's like literally all of us when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Like, where are you that this is not your current mental state?
Dude, what is it about hitting 30 that like hot dogs just sound fucking fire now? I never used to be down with the dogs, but now that I'm like 30, I'm a glizzy goblin, brother. Let me tell you what. Grilling up a couple dogs, dude, on a Friday.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, Ask Megs, we have been on the biggest hot dog kick. It's at least a minimum of 6 chili cheese dogs from Sheets. You get a little bag of the purple Doritos, the sweet and spicy chili Doritos. Boom, that mixed with your favorite drink with some chili cheese dogs from Sheets is an adequate meal any night of the week.
What are we doing?
And I'm sorry, but it is one of those situations where I was distraught. I was distraught. And so I had to go to Twitter. I went to Twitter and I said, listen, my whole night's ruined. I had to eat these nasty, disgusting Runner's hot dogs. Sheets didn't have the chili. Sheets, what are we doing? Sheets, answer me. And I got a response. The next morning. It just said one word, all capital letters. It just said, sorry.
What are we doing?
And I tried responding. They haven't responded back again, but I tried like setting up a collab. I'm like, listen, just send me a Halloween costume. I'll do a pod. It'll be a whole thing. Let's work together now that we're friends. And you've formally apologized for running out of chili and almost ruining the evening. But you know, speaking of food, the only news that has struck central Pennsylvania, because let's face it, we only get tragedy in central Pennsylvania every once in a while. Other than that, the news is pretty tame. You know what I mean? Speaking of hot dogs, like what, a month ago, a whole bunch of hot dogs spilled all over 83. That made national headlines. And other than that, central BA is pretty tame when it comes to the travesties and the major occurring events here within the region. But this news seems to be sweeping the East Coast all the way from Delaware down to here, down to everywhere. Iron Hill Brewery locations have all abruptly closed their doors. And you wouldn't believe it, the residents and the employees of all locations are distraught. The company has been in turmoil for the last few years, slowly closing locations throughout Pennsylvania and other East Coast cities. But at the end of the day, the company has officially filed for bankruptcy and just boop, nixed them all. And so, you know what I mean? We've all been there. We've all pretty much been to an Iron Hill Brewery. I've been there multiple times for multiple reasons. One was like on a first date with Megs. And like 2, I'm pretty sure I got hired. I'm pretty sure I did magic at an Iron Hill Brewery. I got hired for like a corporate event that they rented it out. They hired me. I did card tricks. I swallowed balloons. I did a whole magic show at Iron Hill Brewery once, you know. So it's a staple of Pennsylvania. We have one in Lancaster and Hershey and Delaware, the East Coast. And Just there was a handful of them throughout the area. And so naturally, when this news broke, as this podcast always does, we have the reactions live and first to you in the morning of these events. And so we have live on the street reporters looking at everything going on, and it is a situation where we have the people of the East Coast, people of Central Pennsylvania, discovering and reacting to the closure of Iron Hill Brewery. Let's take a look.
Very surprised, yes. And I'm worried now. I wonder if they'll open up again.
Yeah, we come to this
Probably
restaurant
not.
often. We had no idea that it was closed. So we're meeting for lunch and just came to see a sign on the door that it's been closed down. So it's pretty shocking.
Cindy, they're closed. Do you think they're going to open again? Where are we going to go for lunch? Now that Iron Hill Brewery is closed, these two are forced to go to Cracker Barrel for lunch.
What are we doing?
And I don't know. I don't think they heard the news. I think they're still in the mindset that Cracker Barrel's all woke and changing and remodeling. I don't know if these two were too busy planning their Iron Hill Brewery lunch for last Tuesday to know the news of Cracker Barrel. And so now they're forced. What are they going to do? You know, these are the reactions. I mean, that's essentially what you can expect from the residents of Central Pennsylvania finding out that Iron Hill is permanently closed. I mean, what a whirlwind of news. What a week it's been, you know? And so these two, they're lost. And so, but I think they found their way. I think they probably went to a nice Cracker Barrel, sat down in a nice wooden chair, and had the best lunch they possibly could, you know? And folks, it's just another sign of the times. This is just another sign of the times, okay? The tariffs are too high. The economy's too low. It's to the point now where we can't even serve you frozen, deep-fried appetizers for a decent price in this country because everything is just expenses. Rent is through the roof. Employment rates are through the roof. I mean, it is a situation where what I think will most likely inevitably happen is in place of every single Iron Hill Brewery location, we're probably just going to get a family diner.
What are we doing?
It is just inevitable at this point. Whenever an actual decent, kind of not great restaurant and or brewery and or dining location goes out in the Central Pennsylvania area, there's a 75 to 85% chance that it will get turned into, insert your town name here, family diner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yes or yes.
What are we doing?
It'll happen. Oh, it'll happen in a heartbeat. It'll happen in a heartbeat. Someone will scoop up these locations and turn it into a family diner style restaurant where you can go any time of the week and get a mediocre egg, pancake, sandwich, BLT, diner style menu of a meal, just like they do, and take over and transform every failed business from the Carlisle Pike to Mechanicsburg to Camp Hill to Harrisburg to York to Lancaster to everywhere in between. If the business goes out of business and it was a restaurant before, they will put an equalier or shittier valued restaurant inside of it and presumably somehow keep it there for years to come. Everything inevitably will turn into a family diner restaurant.
What are we doing?
Everything inevitably turns into a breakfast, lunch, and dinner family-style restaurant that you can go to at any point in time and expect the same mediocre hot plate food that the same style types of chefs and food and everyone's cooking in this country is the same shit.
What are we doing?
You know?
Find out last minute with something. I mean, we all plan for things in our lives, and when you find out 10 minutes before your shifts, it's
Gotta love
completely
it.
disheartening for a company that you spent a lot of time dedicating your emotions and commitment to the customers. And, we lived through COVID, so I think we deserved a little bit more than just giving us a 10-minute notice.
It's pretty frustrating not knowing, what's in the future for all of us.
15 locations.
A lot of us really care about
What's up,
other
Eileen?
people that we work with and care about coming to the company. So it's going to be hard for a lot of us to, kind of get together and figure out what we're doing next.
Listen, the solution to what you do next, Eileen, is very, 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 very simple. All you guys got to do is head down to the local sheets, and some of you are going to make a guaranteed 15, and some of you are going to make a guaranteed 18, and some of you are probably going to make a little bit more than that.
What are we doing?
I can't imagine Iron Hill Brewery in 2024 to 2025 was paying any of its employees more than $15 an hour. Maybe a few managers, maybe definitely the higher ups, but as far as the average staff member, maybe the servers on a busy Friday or Saturday night, but a Tuesday, I bet they'd be lucky to go home with an average of $10 an hour. I mean, from the rumors and the reviews and the news reports coming out of Iron Hill Brewery these last few months, apparently service, quality of food, quality of service, and everything else that was on the up and up has been on a downward spiral ever since the last couple of years ago, aka the pandemic.
What are we doing?
And so, I mean, listen, the only thing left for the American workforce is a high quality gas station that also serves made to order food. You go to a Sheetz, you go to a Wawa, you're guaranteed about $18 an hour with full benefits. You get health care, you get a 401k if you're there full time, you get $18 an hour after taxes is basically $15 an hour. And I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Go get a job at Sheetz, baby girl. If you're sleeping on the floor and you just got the opportunity and financial wherewithal to skip as many trivia nights as you need to get a mattress to get yourself up off of said hardwood floors that you've been sleeping on, good for you. You should have got a job at Sheetz.
What are we doing?
I mean, it's the economy, babes. It's where we're at. It's where we're at within the economy, within the ecosystem of everything going on. The current administration, they promised us prices would drop. They promised us none of this would happen. They promised that we would be stepping into the best economical time with the and now, you know what I mean? It's kind of out the opposite. And so with all that being said, I mean, businesses are closing left and right. Businesses are shutting down. Crummier ones are moving in. I mean, Starbucks, hey, who doesn't love their Starbucks? Well, guess what? They're closing now like 10 to 20% of their stores. They're laying off 900 plus employees within their organization, and it's just going to continue from there. It's how the economy works. It's how it fluctuates. We were up during COVID, and then as soon as COVID was over, the percentage rate started going up again, and the economy started crashing, and now we were back on a recovery, and now I think we're on our way right back down. And so this is how things, this is how they fluctuate. So look out for your local family diner coming to an old Iron Hill Brewery and dinner and lunch spot location coming soon.
What are we doing?
Well, more good news coming to you. TikTok is safe, okay? We've been playing this back and forth. We've been playing this back and forth for years now. If you remember, like 2 years ago, Zaddy Trumpets in the Biden administration were trying to be like, yo, what's going on with TikTok? It's going to get banned. It's going to get shut down. And they shut it down. So much so, Megs and I went on like a cabin retreat. We got a cabin, middle of the woods, snow everywhere, wintertime, no internet, TikTok detox, if you know what I mean. And so we were in the sauna, we were hanging out, we were reading books, we were meditating. We literally, as the ban of TikTok was happening the very first time, we were just all the way out in the middle of nowhere, just getting ready for the inevitable shutdown. And when that came, we thought all was dandy. But then, of course, boop, a couple hours later, they called Zaddy Trumpets and he said, I'm Daddy brings TikTok back.
What are we doing?
And it came back, okay? And then basically it's been in limbo ever since. Well, it's supposed to shut down this date, we extend it. It's supposed to shut down this date, we extend it. It's supposed to shut down this date, we extend it. And now we're finally reaching another deadline. And finally, through all of these extensions, the inevitable end goal has always been a way for somehow an American entity or company to control the American version of TikTok. Because even though TikTok and their parent company ByteDance don't have official ties with the Chinese government, we all know how the Chinese government works. And when you're a company such as big as TikTok and ByteDance, you definitely have ties with the Chinese government, allegedly. And so at the end of the day, the American government was like, hey, we can't really have that because the Chinese could push like anti-propaganda and war and all this stuff. It's not true. And then Americans would believe it. And then they retaliate against us, their own country. You know, not that we do that on our own because they're lying to us directly to our faces every day, but also wouldn't help if China just kind of helped push that narrative. And so what we came up with as part of a plan is we called our friends, the company Oracle. They're a massive data center. I'm sure you heard of them. I think they have something to do with the Opera browser. You know what I mean? Oracle is up there in terms of like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Oracle. They're all the big Mac Daddy players of them all. And so for $14 billion, Oracle has essentially fronted the costs along with a few other companies and investors with the blessing of the United States government, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance. We now have a lease agreement with China to lease the TikTok algorithm back to the United States. Okay, so essentially what that means is we are, for $14 billion, we are renting the TikTok algorithm from China. Oracle will then take a copy of that algorithm, apply it to the American version of the TikTok app, and all is well that ends well. We have TikTok, and us as Americans can use it and upload to it and scroll on it endlessly for hours without the worry of any Chinese propaganda or government interference from the Chinese government.
What are we doing?
But that's not to say that Oracle and its other investors that now have leased said algorithm aren't going to change it, because they can 100% just copy and paste it. They don't have to change it at all. They could copy and paste it to the United States servers, and we can use TikTok as it was and as it is. But I would venture to guess that Oracle and all of the other investors within the new TikTok leasing algorithm app purchasing within the United States situation that's currently happening would like to see a return on their $14 billion investment.
What are we doing?
And so at the end of the day, I'm going to assume that once the algorithm is copied, it will be pasted into the American version of TikTok. But there's probably going to be slight manipulation. I don't know, like maybe certain ad placement that financially benefits Oracle, boosting creators and accounts that positively talk about the Trump administration and their friends and anyone who supports Oracle, and just the never-ending control of speech on social media and online that we see today. So right now it's a little less controlled because it's just kind of owned by China and it's a free-for-all. But something tells me once it's got full control over here in the United States via Oracle and their algorithm and servers, it's probably gonna switch up just a smidge. And so get ready, essentially, for the downfall of TikTok. You know what I mean?
The U.S. company will have control over how the algorithm pushes content to users. The most important thing is that it does protect Americans' data security. It ensures TikTok is still accessible. And on this question of the algorithm, which we've heard this a lot, what this deal ensures is that the American entity and the American investors will actually control the algorithm. We don't want this used as a propaganda tool by any foreign government. We want to make sure that our people and our investors actually...
We want to use it as a propaganda tool for our government.
Propaganda arm. So
right.
That's what we've done with this deal. I think it's very good for the American people.
Come on,
as the
JD.
president said, young people love this. We actually want everybody to access this, whether they're MAGA or not. We just want it to be fair. We want it to be fair to everybody, and we think that's what's going to happen with this new arrangement.
Wow.
So, Mr. Vice President, the U.S. company could change the algorithm to push.
Yes, they could.
The U.S. company will have control over how the algorithm pushes content to users, and that was
Yes.
a very important part of it. We thought
The
it was
answer is
necessary
yes.
for
He
the
just
national
didn't say
security
yes.
element of the law. We also just think it's important to protect American users. Again, we want users to use this platform the way they want to. We want the business to make decisions about content based on the interests of the business and based on the interests of the users, and that's what we think will happen with this new arrangement.
And they're paying a lot of money, and I think hopefully it's going to be a great deal. They're very sophisticated people. You'll see a list. Have you seen a list yet of the people?
Have you seen a list of the people? It's a very sophisticated list of people.
What are we doing?
So, I mean, get ready. Once that whole transition happens, I fear TikTok will just inevitably become the same algorithm that we now have on Facebook, that Instagram has adapted, that X is on its way to adopting, and inevitably TikTok. The algorithm will just inevitably start to crumble. It will fail. It will only be ad, sponsored posts, AI slop, investor. Like, it'll just be a bunch of nonsense. The same way we all literally hate to use Facebook. The only people that love to use Facebook now are our parents, because Facebook tells them when the next craft show is going to be at the retirement home down the street, and when their friends are getting together for a Pampered Chef party.
What are we doing?
And so at the end of the day, that's what Facebook's for. And TikTok now, especially with this whole, listen, at the end, it's inevitable. This is exactly what happens whenever companies get bought and purchased by bigger companies, and they step in, they change the algorithm. It's not what it used to be. We all abandon it, and then it just becomes a sloppy, silly mess that some of us still use. But those of us who fell off, the 30% of us who will inevitably fall off and stop using it because of this new disgusting version of the algorithm, will be enough of an impact for them to just continuously make it worse and worse and worse, much like they did with Facebook and now Instagram and every other social media platform, inevitably until it officially is just totally demised. Now, Meta and Zuckerberg has created such an empire and a business that I don't necessarily know we'll ever see the demise of Facebook. But when we talk about things like, MySpace and other platforms that have come and gone throughout the years, Vine, so on and so forth, it could inevitably eventually just happen for TikTok as well. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a positive change. But, when it will directly line the pockets of the friends and of the current administration and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and all of their technology friends that are going to get a huge payday from this once the new algorithms push live, it'll be a great day for them, I'm sure.
What are we doing?
And just speaking of great news from the administration, I mean, this week, the other huge news that Donald Trump promised us all was his essential announcement for the autism community. And so for those of us who have been on the up and up, we knew before the official announcement was made what it was going to be about. And when we heard what it was going to be about before the announcement was actually made, we were kind of like, yeah, maybe it's wrong, because I feel like we can't be so blinded by the blatant truth that the president would just come out and do what he hates the most and spread fake news and a false narrative.
What are we doing?
And so with his goons, Donald Trump and his goons behind him, freaking Dr. Oz and RFK, Bobby Boy Jr., two people who have zero experience being actual doctors, by the way. I mean, Dr. Oz you know what I mean? And RFK Jr. And their big discovery, their big announcement was pulled straight from an article they found that was written in like 2014. And their claim to fame is that women who have taken Tylenol while pregnant are the cause of the autistic children within the United States.
What are we doing?
Look at other countries, according to Donald Trump. Other countries, they don't take Tylenol. They don't have autism.
What are we doing?
Come on, bro. But what's crazy is that boomers have been on this for years. Our parents have been on this for years. Our crazy whack nut job of parents have been sending us articles that Tylenol has been causing autism for years. I mean, back in like 2019, I think 2020. I mean, my mom they were sending us articles like, oh, there's a class action lawsuit. You should look into Tylenol if you have an autistic child. And of course, those of us who have autistic children, we know the truth.
What are we doing?
But at the end of the day, the current administration is trying to tell us that based on zero scientific evidence, that Tylenol is the cause of autism. And so that's essentially what we're to believe. And it's what we're supposed to understand. Just listen to this nonsense, right? I mean,
it's widely used in other countries too. As you make this announcement, do you expect your decision may affect
I
other
hope they
countries?
follow it, yeah. I hope they follow it. Yeah, other countries are, sell Tylenol. Some countries don't. I mean, I hear Cuba. Now, again, you'll have to check this out. But
because he didn't do his homework.
Because it's very expensive. And they don't have the money to have it, or they don't want to spend the money to have it. They don't have Tylenol. And I hear they have essentially no autism. So you'll have to check it out.
I don't think any of that statement was actually utterly true at all.
What are we doing?
Listen, at the end of the day, you have to take what these people are telling you with a grain of salt. I mean, it is a fascinating time. It is a fascinating time for us to be alive. And I mean, if you need anyone on the planet to tell you anything about Tylenol and autism and how this information is most likely blatantly false, it's got to be Caitlin. Listen to her. I mean, it's
refused to. The largest study we have on acetaminophen shows that once you compare siblings, the link to autism disappears. This Swedish study followed over 2 million children born from 1995 all the way up to 2019. Researchers monitored for any occurrence of autism, ADHD, and intellectual disability. In the beginning, the numbers looked like there may be a link between moms who took Tylenol and kids who later received a diagnosis.
You know what I mean?
Families share a lot of things, not just over-the-counter painkillers. So if you don't account for genetics, environment, or the reason that Tylenol was used in the first place, the numbers can make it look like Tylenol was the cause. Researchers in this study compared siblings within the same family. One was exposed to Tylenol and the other was not. Once they did that, the link disappeared. The higher risk wasn't coming from Tylenol, it was coming from the shared family factors.
Imagine
and to
that!
be clear, none of this is my personal opinion. I just summarized publicly available facts. The autism community deserves answers, more research, and a higher level of scientific accountability. But we shouldn't leap to conclusions that the science doesn't actually support.
You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, this is where we end up. Listen to Trump talking about he just the whole time, because they don't have a lot of evidence here. They don't have a lot of scientific evidence. They don't have a lot of medical evidence. They don't have really much anything at all. I think they're just grasping for straws at this point. Because at the end of the day, the whole time Trump was talking about this, he just kept repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
Don't take it.
You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe.
Listen to him.
But don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born. Don't take Tylenol.
I mean, he just kept saying it over and over and over, so much so he sounded just like
The
this.
science-ish guy. Trump.
It's great.
dude.
It's science, important. Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Dude, if I can pronounce words better than you, like it should be like you shouldn't be how was he not prepped on this? How was there no studies, no quotes, no information? It's like they just said, "Hey, let's go up there and just, hey boy, let's just wing this one. We'll wing it. Don't tell me what it is. I'll read it. It's Tylenol, right? It's not going to be anything crazy. I'm not going to have to pronounce any big words. You know what I mean?
So taking Tylenol is not good. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. This is based on what I feel. It is a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism. If you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do.
I mean, this is the president of the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
What are we doing?
But hey, according to them, Tylenol is it, and that's what we're going to have to live with. I mean, at the end of the day, the administration is busy fighting late night host. He's busy telling us that Tylenol is what causes autism, and they're busy hiring some 27-year-old intern at Homeland Security, and they're going hard with the online memes. If you haven't seen the latest social media promo coming out of the Department of Homeland Security, aka those who are supposed to be protecting us here on the ground within the United States, they're busy running like the dankest social media campaign of 2025 that we've ever seen ever.
What are we doing?
And I mean, for a government entity, take a look at this. Their first time taking a shot at it was with none other than Pokemon. We mashed the Pokemon theme song up with ice raids. Take a look at this.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them,
dude, you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit.
What are we doing?
It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy that this is where we are at. So now we've got, obviously, Nintendo, the Pokemon companies responded, and I quote, "We had nothing to do with this, and we did not pre-authorize the Department of Homeland Security to post an ice raid deportation video where they use the Pokemon theme song, Gotta Catch 'Em All, to promote all of their efforts in catching all of the illegal immigrants within this country and deporting them back to their home countries."
What are we doing?
With Pokemon cards with their pictures and names and stats and crimes all at the end of the video. I mean, it is a golden 10 out of 10 cringe fest from the federal government. The only explanation is that there is some hot shit 20-year-old intern at the Department of Homeland Security whipping these up. Because once this one went viral, once this Pokemon one dropped, the second one dropped, and boy, oh boy, now we're really stirring up controversy because they include none other than social commentary podcaster, comedian himself, Theo Von, the man himself, Theo Von, who has been on the rise ever since he interviewed Donald Trump last year. He's interviewed J.D. Vance now twice, I believe, on his platform, amongst other professionals and Amish guys, celebrities, comedians. Theo Von is arguably has a better and outranked podcasts than, I don't know, maybe say Joe Rogan. And so this time, Theo Vaughn has not only been taken out of context, but he's been taken out of permission. He did not give them permission to do this. Number 2 from the Department of Homeland Security drop.
Heard you got deported, dude. Bye.
I mean, it is just a genius piece of marketing. If you want to take one thing away from any of this,
they're not coming anymore.
you have got to fully understand that this is how you market your brand in business.
What are we doing?
If you have a brand, if you have a business where someone comes in and has to give you money for something that then you give them back in exchange, whether it's a product or a service or an experience, you need to take notes. This is how you should be posting on social media for your business every single day. If the Department of Homeland Security can figure it out, so can you. Now, unfortunately, Theo Vaughn wasn't happy about it, okay? He responded via tweet like, yo, DHS, I didn't approve to be used in this. I know you know my address, so send a check.
What are we doing?
But you know what I mean? What's funny is the downfall. Watching and witnessing the downfall of the Republican comedians who thought at one point, maybe around this time last year, were on top of the world. I mean, you had the likes of Theo Vaughn. You had the likes of Andrew. You had the likes of Theo Vaughn. You had the likes of Tim Dillon. You had the likes of Flagrant 2. You had the likes of Joe Rogan. You had the likes of all of their friends. All of the comedians in the Rogan sphere were interviewing J.D. Vance and Donald Trump like it was their life goal to have these people as guests on their podcast. And when we inevitably utilize Rogan, the whole Rogan sphere audience, I mean, you had Tony Hinchcliffe dropping bombs on a Donald Trump rally at Madison Square Garden like 3 weeks before the election.
What are we doing?
You've got him going viral for making Cuba his trash jokes, and at the end of the day, they get their boy elected. You've got, with the help, now I'm not saying it was all because of them, but you have to admit there is a small percentage of Donald Trump and the reason he was elected due to Shane Gillis, Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, Theo Vaughn, and a handful of their friends who had on and supported and promoted this new administration, yes or yes.
What are we doing?
And so now that this administration is running complete opposite of what these people actually voted for, they're all getting a little pissy. So when they start using videos of them out of context and for their own promotion, they're getting all pissy on social media like, hey dog, I didn't vote for this. When it comes to immigration, my thoughts and hearts are a lot more nuanced than this video allows. Peace out. Bye. Like, they're pissed.
What are we doing?
The Rogan sphere and the flipping of their views and opinions on the current administration that they helped got elected is so funny to watch. It is so funny to watch from someone who is in the middle. I could give two shits about the left or the right. It is funny to see that these grown men who put on these politicians are now flipping the narrative on the politicians because the politicians inevitably flip the narrative on us.
What are we doing?
You know, so that's what's going on over there. They've got some intern whipping these things up like it's no one's business. Like it is no one's freaking business what's going on. And in the meantime, Donald Trump's bully tactics for Jimmy Kimmel didn't work.
What are we doing?
So every single day, this narrative changes. Will he come back? Will he not? Will Jimmy Kimmel be on air again? Who's going to distribute it if it's not Sinclair or Nexstar? How is it going to get viewed? So essentially, Disney and ABC agreed to bring Jimmy Kimmel back. He's back, babes. He won the battle. He won the fight. The issue was Sinclair Media and Nexstar were like, hey, we're still not broadcasting. So within the major cities that need Sinclair and Nexstar to actually view the programming of Jimmy Kimmel and ABC, They didn't get it. But somehow everyone else on the planet did and boosted Jimmy Kimmel's ratings from about 120,000 people that were watching like 3 or 4 weeks ago to about 6 million people watching last Tuesday night.
What are we doing?
So millions of people now have poured in for the comeback of Jimmy Kimmel. And I mean, it is one of the most interesting stories that we have seen. Now, because Sinclair and Nexstar did not agree to bring him back via their broadcasting efforts, it still didn't matter. Due to the massive amount of viewers and support and everything else surrounding this story, all of the news and pressure and everything else going on, Sinclair has now backtracked their opinions, backtracked their statements, and have agreed to officially, as of tonight, re-air and recast the Jimmy Kimmel live show once again.
What are we doing?
Now, they said the only way that would happen is if Kimmel issued an apology to the Kirk family and made a sizable financial donation to Turning Point USA, Kirk's business. Now, we don't have a word on whether or not that actually happened, but it is being reported that Sinclair will once again, starting next week or this weekend, whenever, I think starting immediately, will once again air and broadcast the Jimmy Kimmel show. So, it is what it is. I mean, Jimmy's back. Let's take a look. I think we've got a video. Yeah, here he is. Jimmy's
former
back.
crusader for free speech.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country.
It's
as
simple
monologue.
as
that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple. Just like dominoes, one by one, they'll go down.
That was also in 2022. And I wonder, how did that
holy
guy
shit.
turn into this guy?
Who would you like to see replace Kimmel on late night?
A lot of people, anybody could replace him. Guy had no talent. Kimmel he was fired, he had no talent. It's a whack job, but he had no talent. And more importantly than talent, he had no, because a lot of people have no talent, they get ratings. But he had no ratings.
Well, I do tonight.
Hilarious. Good for him. Hilarious. Standing ovation.
You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly.
It's so funny.
He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now.
See, dude. Okay, now what's so funny about this entire thing? What is so funny about this entire thing is that everyone on the planet, late night host included, is allowed to say whatever we want to say about the Epstein files.
What are we doing?
They are allowed to make jokes about the Epstein files. They're allowed to say that Trump is in them because he was. They are erecting statues in front of the White House of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein holding hands. They are literally, the world will not shut up about the Jeffrey Epstein files. And I don't know about you, but claiming that the MAGA movement is trying to disassociate themselves with the shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination versus the President of the United States, among other presidents of the United States, being directly named and best friends with a man who ran an island where underage minors would go to and do absurdly, ungodly, unlawful things to them is a lot worse.
What are we doing?
Like, I would literally be shutting every single network down. Every single network that talks about the Jeffrey Epstein files, shut it down. Everything else should be fair game. And the fact that it is complete opposite, the fact that Jimmy Kimmel can come back, joke about Trump being in the Epstein files on his night back, get his distribution back, get his show back, and basically pull an Uno reverse 180 flip on Donald Trump, the entire FCC, the Sinclair family, Sinclair Media Group, and everyone else who was involved getting him taken off the air in the first place, is just a beautiful testament. A beautiful job. Well done. Congratulations, Jimmy. Good for you. Stick your ground. Don't budge for anyone. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is just utterly absurd to me that he got pulled off the air for saying ABC, when in reality, everyone else is over here joking about Jeffrey Epstein, X, Y, and Z. And that's okay, but that's not.
What are we doing?
That's insane, dude. That's insane. If you were to ever mention the word Trump and Epstein in a sentence, I would be, if I was Donald Trump, I'd be livid. I would be even more livid now than I was before. And guess presumably when it comes to Epstein, Trump just like literally can't do anything about it.
What are we doing?
And so this is where we're at, you know, but like, you know, Jimmy Fallon, he heard the news. He was like, Jimmy Fallon, you're next. And so since all of this happened, Jimmy Fallon's been quietly tiptoeing behind the scenes, just putting some cards up his sleeve, just in case the Hammer and NBC decide to come down on his show, okay? He started yet another spinoff. We've got another Jimmy Fallon spinoff where he's going to have a bunch of entrepreneurs and digital marketing agency owners compete for $150,000 or something, $100,000, some very low bullshit amount of prize money after taxes. It's basically nothing. And so they're going to compete by making like ads for Dunkin' Donuts every week. Every week's a different challenge on how they can make a new ad for Pepsi and Dunkin' Donuts and Southwest and all of the major big brand, multi-billion-dollar brands that funded the entire show for Jimmy Fallon. And then boop, whoever has the best ad campaign at the end of season 1 wins a grand prize, and their ad campaign goes live nationwide and they win $100,000 cash.
What are we doing?
And it's going to be a 1 to 2 season show from Jimmy Fallon just to secure his financial future for the next year to 2 years. And so on top of that, he also dropped a bomb. Guess what? Promo time, promo season, dropping on October 6, 2025. You've got none other than Taylor Swift reprising her role as the guest of Jimmy Fallon coming up October 6th. So he's got like 10 to 15 more days. If Jimmy Fallon can avoid Donald Trump's radar and the distribution and the networks and NBC, and if he can just zoom and dodge a couple of if Jimmy Fallon can dodge a couple of metaphorical bullets between now and then, once he gets this new sub show launched, once he gets like season 2 of like Jimmy Fallon karaoke show going with Keke Palmer or whoever co-hosts that show, and once he's got the Taylor Swift interview doing dummy numbers, shout out to the Swifties.
What are we doing?
There's no way NBC and the President of the United States can cancel him. So Jimmy Fallon's attempting to build up and fortify his house over at the late night show over on NBC. So of course, what better way to do that than with Tay-Tay herself, Miss Taylor Swift, ready to promote the album.
What are we doing?
Listen, Meta AI having an okay-ish week. If you haven't heard the news or from your favorite tech tuber, favorite content creators, they just released version 2.0 of their Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Now these new glasses, they're a lot lighter. They film in a way better 3K Ultra HD resolution, so you can film vertical and horizontal. It's not that stupid 4:5 ratio Instagram bullshit like the first generation was. And then the only other thing you got was And the only other thing you got then was like the upgraded Pro models of the Meta Ray-Bans that have like a screen on the inside. So if you want like a little screen in your lens to give you notifications and text messages or directions or whatever else you can put on the silly little screen in the glasses lens, you can buy those now for like $800. And so it was half of the success of the announcement. The other half of the success was a complete failure when it came to the glasses and the AI demo. Little buddy was trying to make just like an easy batch of like cookies or brownies or something. He asked AI what the first step is. And the AI was like, well, now that we're on step 3. And he was like, hey, we didn't do step 1. What's the first step? And then she goes, well, now that we're on step 3, and so the AI was a total failure, the demo was a failure, but then of course they just cut back to Zuck, and he blamed it on the Wi-Fi.
What are we doing?
This is what big tech does. Steve Jobs used to do it. Now Zuckerberg does it. They're like, oh, guess it must be the Wi-Fi connection. That's why the Meta AI voice assistant inside the glasses is confused and won't talk to me like a proper human being.
What are we doing?
It must be the Wi-Fi. And so they also announced, listen to this, the Meta AI team also announced what they are calling vibes. So if you download the Meta AI app, naturally, because you don't have that downloaded. I don't know why you would, because who knew that actually existed?
What are we doing?
You download the Meta AI app and you can scroll the Vibes feed, which is basically a feed in the Meta AI app for short form AI generated videos. It's basically TikTok, but every single video that you scroll through is just an AI generated piece of slop.
What are we doing?
And so they expect people to not only sit there and scroll and watch these, but then you can like hit a button and like remix the video and make your own version of the AI slop. You can hit like the remix button. You can like add a filter to anyone's video. And this is just supposed to be like a TikTok kind of playground, but within the Meta AI app, where you're supposed to sit there and curate your own feed of AI generated videos. It's bad enough that you know for a fact you should be creating and generating, I don't know, anywhere from like 5 to 10 TikToks for yourself as a person every day, let alone generating AI videos for your Meta AI, your feed there. Like, it's not going to be used. The feature's going to be gone in 5 years. And like some of the weird things that Facebook and Meta AI are doing are just like, can we just not build a better like platform?
What are we doing?
Can you not make Instagram better?
What are we doing?
Like, can we bring the old Facebook back?
What are we doing?
Like, I don't know. Like, why make something so silly when we already have TikTok that's full of AI slop? Why in God's name would we all rush to download the Meta AI app just to watch AI slop?
What are we doing?
You know, but that's where we're at. Zuckerberg needs a reason to spend another $20 billion on things like this in order to appease his investors and say, look at us. Look at us. It's not just ChatGPT. It's not just Grok. It's not just X that has not only a successful, you know what I mean, successful kind of social media platform and an AI chatbot. Look at me. I can do it too. He has to do at least 12 to 13 cringe projects on the way just to appease his investors. But at the end of the day, no one's going to use the Vibes feed, dude.
What are we doing?
You know? It's Fat Bear Week, ladies and gentlemen.
What are we doing?
It's time for Fat Bear Week. I need to know who you're voting for. I need to know how much money you're putting down. I need to know if your bear's still in the game. I need to know if you even know what Fat Bear Week is. For those of you who don't know, Fat Bear Week is a very serious bracket style NFL parlay type of bettings type of online voting situation where we have numbered and we have labeled the numerous overweight bears that come to the salmon run of the State Park of Alaska every single year.
What are we doing?
These bears are fat, they're overweight, they're chubby, because there are no less than 3 million salmon. That number is completely wrong, but it looks like there is no less than 3 million salmon just jumping and swimming and trying to migrate upstream because it's that time of year. The only issue is there's a dam in their way, so there's a huge traffic jam, and that's where the fat bears love to meet. And so based on visuals alone, we have not only numbered, but we have named the bears. We have numbered and named some of the bears because it's Fat Bear Week. I mean, look at these chonks. Look at these chonkers, dude. Look at these big boys. This is my man, number 909. We're going to get to 909 in a minute, but this boy is a chonker. Look at her. She's a thick bit. Oh, man, that's just a little baby. Well, that's just a little baby, but most of these bears are fat, thick, and juicy. You know what I mean? I mean, all they do is munch on salmon all day long. They're getting ready for hibernation. They need to eat as many fish as possibly humanly barely possible. As many fish as barely possible, and they get big and chunky, and they're just the chunkiest, cutest bears of all time. And so it's Fat Bear Week, folks. I mean, if you think I'm making this up, listen to this.
We've been telling you about this because it's so much fun, or maybe you just think it's funny. The competition for Fat Bear Week is heating up, celebrating some of the largest brown bears on Earth. Those bears squaring off
big chonkers
in a March Madness style bracket. In fact, we've got competition going on in the newsroom. I've got 9-10 taking home the cake this year. Our Avery Martinez has the bracket
He's
breakdown
the favorite this year.
which
Let's
matchups to watch.
Okay, Fat Bear Nation, let's take a look at where
Fat
things
Bear
are
Nation!
right in the Fat Bear graphics. So, first thing we got to talk about is 128 Junior, Miss Biggie is making her way ahead in the competition.
Go ahead,
this
Miss
could be
Biggie.
the first time
Let's
that
go.
we have a Fat Bear Junior champion also take over
Could
the
be
main Fat Bear
Junior.
bracket. But the
Could be
interesting part
Junior
about
this
that
year.
is
Pay attention.
Mama Bear, number 128, she's still in the rankings. So if things go their way, they could actually go head-to-head, or it might be the start of a Bear dynasty, or it might be a three-peat for 128. Now, that's some of the insider knowledge. Let's talk about the Bears who are moving ahead. Number one is Mr. 901 down here, who's a fan favorite. She's fat, she's big, and she's already crushed the competition.
She's a
got
big
over
Bertha
100,000
bit,
votes compared to her competitor. Now, let's talk about the other one that's moving ahead, which is obviously 128. We've talked about how important she's going to be in the future,
Come
but
on,
who got
Junior.
knocked out? 503 here and 609. Unfortunately, they won't be our fattest bear champion this year, but they could be in the future. 503, fan favorite, so gentle. Everybody loved him. Gentle giant, gentle Ben. But unfortunately, he didn't go after those fishing spots the way that
he wasn't aggressive enough. He wasn't aggressive enough.
She was a Fat Bear Junior champion, so there was a lot of hope that she might pull ahead this year. But she could be, as a great mama bear, the start of another Bear dynasty. Maybe in the future we'll see 128 Junior go up against 609 Junior, but only time will tell. And you get to decide that, everybody. You can go to explore.org to vote for your favorite bear. And here are the matchups happening today. Now, it'll be really interesting. If 856 here moves forward, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So
with
it's
128
856
and number 26
versus
here,
99,
Mama Bear
26 versus 909. It
one of
should
the
be
sisters.
909,
Could be one of the
but
matches to
26
watch
could
this
take,
entire
dude, you
year.
got to watch
You can also find
26.
extended interviews and more about Missouri
It's crazy.
Bears at firstalert4.com.
You have to pay attention.
Fat Bear Week.
All right, so I'm already out of a couple of the first rounds.
Look, I mean, it's a big effing deal.
What are we doing?
It's a big deal. If you're not paying attention to Fat Bear Week and have your numbers and your brackets and your bears in, it's at a point now where you got to pay attention. If you're not paying attention, this is where we're at. Listen, we just got breaking news. Breaking news. 99 is out. 99 just got voted out. Look at this. I told you you had to watch it. It was what was it? 886 versus 99. 886 versus 99. It was 886's game all day. But 99 as the underdog came in And now, boom, who knows? 99 might be taking this whole thing. I had him as the underdog. I didn't lose all that much on him. Listen to this.
A future competitor. So if you pick 99 or you're a big 99 fan, you may not be out of the woods yet. You may not oh, look at that guilty face.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard, but he couldn't get it this year. But that doesn't mean he can't come back next year and be our fattest champion. But I did just want to note the fact that many people have picked him as a future contender because these bears, as they grow, they change their hierarchy within, the larger community of bears.
So what you need to do is if you're not paying attention this year, or if you start paying attention now, you'll be golden for 2026. If you are paying attention now, you'll be golden for 2026.
What are we doing?
I'm telling you, pay attention to the bears that just lost, like number 99. Yeah, number 99, Big Daddy maxed out this year. But number 99 next year, as he works his way up into the ranks, he's beefing up. He's going to be twice as fat next year. Number 99 probably could go all the way in 2026. So pay attention. Just because you lost this year doesn't mean those rankings are going to shift come next year. It's the Fat Bear Week competition. Go to explore.org and get your votes in now if it's not too late. You might still have time to vote. You might still have time to fill out your bracket, but it's going quick. These bears, it's anyone's game. Number 99 wasn't quick enough, so boop, he's out. The other bear advances. We'll see. It's still anyone's game. My man, no 909, though. I've got a hundo. I've got $109 on Bear 909.
What are we doing?
If Bear 909 does not pull off this win, I'm livid.
What are we doing?
I'm going to lose my shit if my bet doesn't pull through on the money line for Bear 909 as the fattest bear this year. Mark my words. Let's go. Cheer him on. Have we voted today? You need to vote. You need to go to explore.org and vote for your bear. Okay? You need to do it right now. Explore.org and vote for your bear. You know what I mean? Here it is, Fat Bear Week. Here's the vote. How do you vote? Let's link. Oh, here we go. 909 for the win. Vote for 909. Vote 909. No, I'm not a robot. Submit vote. I got to fill it out. I got to type in my email. We're voting for 909. Thank you, Pixel. Here's my email. Boom, 909. Submit vote. Thank you, dude. I need 909 to win. Contestant number 1, 909. I need you to pull through. That's the only one I care about. That's the only one I care about. It's 909 versus 128. And if anything, he should pull right on through. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening and rocking with me thus far. If you're still on, if you can still hear me, if you're still watching, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're watching on the YouTube mobile iOS or Android app, swipe left on the comment section and hit the hype button. Let's hype up this episode just like last week. I want to see if something happens. If you could do me a favor, open this episode on the iOS or Android app, swipe left on the comment section, hit the hype button, come back the next day, do it again, support a small creator.
What are we doing?
My name's Levi McCurdy. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the podcast. We'll see you guys next week. It never fails. Episode 208 coming soon next week. Peace out, everybody. Have a great weekend. Yeah.
What are we doing?